2 budget meals, under $5 a piece. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I have got another budget meal video for you guys. Y'all really enjoyed the last ones that I've been posting, so I thought I would do some more. And y'all already know, with inflation and with shortages and everything, budget meals are definitely go-tos around a lot of people's families right now, because it is just the day that we live in right now. It's much needed, and main focus is to feed your family. So I have got 2 super cheap budget meals that I'm going to share with you guys today. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for the first budget meal, we're going to do a corn dog casserole. We've got 2 boxes of Jiffy Mix. We have our milk and our eggs that calls for on the box. And then we also have some hot dogs. Let's get it put together. It's really easy to put together. You're just going to follow the directions on the back of the Jiffy boxes, mix that together. And then as you see there, I do have a greased 8x8 baking dish, but next time I make this, I will do it in a like 9x13, just because it took a long time for the center to get cooked through where it was so thick. But I wanted to mention that this one we don't fix just for extreme budget. This is one that Winston really likes, and this is like the perfect kid-friendly meal in general. He really likes this one. We just serve it with some ketchup and then whatever side dishes that we have. I just use what we have on hand and just pair it along with it. I'm just going to cut up that whole pack of hot dogs and get them right there on top. Then I'm going to take my spatula and kind of press them down a little bit. That way they're kind of, like submerged and they're not just right on top. That way it kind of mixes together instead of it just being like a cornbread at the bottom and hot dogs on top, if that makes sense. And then we're going to get this in a 350-degree oven. And like I said, this one took a little bit. It took like 30 minutes just because it was so thick. But it will probably take less time if you do it in a 9x13. Please remember that prices are going to vary depending on your area. I always get comments regarding this. They're like, oh, I wish I could pay that. I wish I could pay that. Just remember, it's all different. Just because it may be cheaper to you guys, prices are still going up for us. So it just depends on your area. So just remember that. Here's what it looks like when it's all done. We just serve it with some ketchup, and then like I said, we just use whatever side dishes that we have on hand. And I had some extra tater tots in the freezer, so I just cooked those up along with it. These are extreme budget meals. So this is going to be a super cheap option to feed your whole family. These are $5 and under. If you are struggling with feeding your family, providing food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, any meal, whatever that is, definitely look into local churches, food pantries, food banks, discount grocery stores. You can call your local 211 and just try to get help with providing food. There is nothing wrong with it at all. Those options are out there for people that are in need. So use those services to your advantage and reach out and get help providing food for your family. Like I said, these are extreme budget meals. They're not going to be fancy gourmet. They are not fresh veggies, fresh fruits and all that. The basis of this for me is I share like a meal, and then you pair it with whatever you have. Like for the corn dog one, we paired it with tater tots because I already had those in the freezer. So like the basis for me of these budget meals, it's not a full complete meal. It's the main dish, and then you pair it with whatever you want. Now with the pasta that I'm going to be sharing, that's kind of an all-in-one because it does have your veggie, and it's got your veggie, your protein, and your noodles. So that's kind of an all-in-one. But just remember, if you are struggling with feeding your family, reach out to those options and use those to your advantage, because that's like I said, that's why they're there. They're there to help you to get through those hard times. And it's okay if you have to do budget meals. It is totally okay. Like I say, as long as you As long as your family is fed, that is all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's homegrown, homemade, if it's, you know, from the store, you know, canned goods. Like, you know, I always get people like, oh, well, you know, you need to eat more fresh vegetables and this and that. My family's fed. My family is fed. I feed us what we like, and that's all that matters to me. We don't have to have fresh veggies all the time. If, like, it's your kitchen, your rules. So, you know, for these extreme budget meals, get creative as well. You know, I've shared several budget meals on my channel. Get creative. That's the whole point. If you have certain ingredients in your house already and you need to be on an extreme budget, go and look through your pantry and your fridge and see what's in there and come up with something. Create something that you might have no clue, you know, what the heck you're making, but it could be, you know, it could become something delicious. And like I said, all that matters is that your family is fed. We're gonna do another super cheap budget meal that's gonna feed your family. For this one, all you need is a jar of Alfredo. Y'all know I always go, especially if you're on an extreme tight budget, go with the store brand. It's gonna be at least a few cents, if not more, cheaper than buying a name brand. So I'm actually using all great value products in this clip. Then you're gonna need, I picked diced ham because it's gonna be one of your cheaper protein options to add into a dish. But I went with the canned because it is a lot cheaper than buying it in the refrigerated section. This is only $1.32, y'all. $1.32 for 5 ounces of diced ham. We love keeping this diced ham on hand, and this is something that I keep in my prepper pantry. It is such a great protein option, and it's a lot cheaper than even if you go and get like chicken or ground beef. This is one of your cheaper options. I know like the bags in the refrigerated section of the ham are at least $3 or more. So I always go with diced ham in the can if I can, and especially if I'm on such an extreme budget. And then we are going to use elbow noodles. There was a few noodle options at Walmart that has went up, but the shells and the elbow and the bow tie are all still 80 cents for me. But they're like the spaghetti noodles and some of the like fancier ones like penne, rigatoni, those have all went up to 92 cents, and that's recent because they used to all be 80 cents. So I don't know if they're eventually all going to change and get higher, but I definitely went with one of the cheaper pasta options. And then we're going to go with a can of peas. The cans of veggies are still 54 cents at my Walmart. That can change. And then you can also use frozen veggies if you want. A frozen bag of veggies is going to be $1, and you can probably get a couple meals out of that, like to stretch it on an extreme budget. We aren't going to use this whole can today. We'll probably use about 3/4 or even to a half. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and see. But this is something like, you know, that you can just use half of and then have the other half to finish out your budget week and add it into another meal. So let's get cooking. I just cooked up my pasta according to package directions. Then once that is done, I just drained it, and then we will put it back in the pot and add the rest of our ingredients. And I wanted to mention, if you are on an extreme budget and you need like a sauce, you can save that pasta water and keep some of that pasta water in your noodles. And then if you have like sprinkle parm or any extra cheese in your fridge, use that pasta water to your advantage, because it's nice starchy water, and it's gonna help bring together and let that be your sauce. I did share a budget meal video in the past where I did tortellini, and I talked about how, you know, I used the pasta water from that and made my sauce, and I just added a little cheese that I had on hand, and it really helps cut down your budget. But for this one, I did the jar of Alfredo, I did the canned ham, and then I ended up using half of that can of peas. And then I am going to use my seasoning cabinet to my advantage as well. I don't count that when I do extreme budget because I feel like everybody either has or should have a well-stocked season cabinet. If you don't, definitely do that. It's only a couple bucks a piece just to stock special, you know, seasonings to have, and that's going to help advance your flavor. And even if you're on an extreme budget, you can still have delicious tasting food. I will have my budget meal playlist linked down below for you guys in case you want to check that out, in case you're new here. But here's what it looks like when it is all done. This was so good, and I think this one would also be good with canned tuna, which is a really good cheap protein option. And that is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. These are 2 super cheap and delicious budget meals that are definitely going to feed your family. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.